from various harms and evils and bad deeds which are detrimental to our this dunya and of the hereafter. Inshallah, today we are going to learn a dua. I think it's very important given the condition of our ummah that we are in, and frankly speaking, the degradation of our essence of being a human being. So this is a particularly important dua, and inshallah, as I usually try to do it, we'll go over the explanation of the dua, the sharh of it, and then we'll try to learn it. So all these du'as are starting with isti'adha, which is seeking refuge by saying Allahumma inni a'udhu bika. And in today's dua, you are seeking refuge from three things. And this is reported by Imam Tirmidhi. The Sahabi said Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to pray with this dua. And again, this is one of the general du'as. There is no specific thing in which it's time bound or there is, it's a daily practice. But this is something he would make generally whenever he would. And unlike yesterday's dua, so the yesterday's dua that we learned, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would do that every single time he would leave the house. Like the hadith where Salama and Aisha radiallahu anha reported that every time he would exit our house, he would look towards the heaven and make the dua that we learned yesterday. So in today's dua, it's a general one, but it's a very important one, and I feel like, all of us, especially in our community, we need to make this dua. So listen to this, and then, it will give you an idea of what this topic is. Prophet ﷺ said, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min munkaratil akhlaqi wal a'mali wal ahwa. Three things. So, oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from munkarat, means something which is evil, something which is forbidden, something which is prohibited, something which is reprehensible. So what kind of reprehensible things Prophet ﷺ is seeking refuge from? Min munkaratil akhlaq wal a'mal and wal ahwa. Akhlaq, you all know the meaning of it. Characteristics, traits which are evil, which are unworthy of us being a human. And what's so strange about this dua? Prophet ﷺ is making it, and how does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describe his akhlaq in Quran? وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Think about it for a moment. The Prophet ﷺ saying, oh Allah, I seek your refuge from the evil akhlaq. So what are evil akhlaq? So it's easy. Look at the good akhlaq there is. For example, Prophet ﷺ said, rifq, gentleness is a quality of a believer. So harshness, that's something which is munkar. Another quality for a believer is ta'lif, ya'laf, like he's easygoing. And Allah said in Quran, فَبِمَا رَحْمَةٍ مِّنَ اللَّهِ لِنْتَ لَهُمْ. Like it is from the rahmah of Allah that you are very soft-spoken, very gentle. وَلَوْ كُنْتَ فَضًّا غَلِيظَ الْقَلْبِ. Had you been rude or harsh or adamant in your heart, people would have turned away. لَنْ فَضُّوا مِنْ حَوْلِكَ. So look at the good akhlaq, compare them with the opposite of it. Right? Those are the evil akhlaq you are seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's refuge from. And this topic is so underrated sometimes in our community, and the importance is not given to it of how valuable good akhlaq are. Especially in the month of Ramadan, we see that sometimes bad akhlaq are blamed on Ramadan. Oh, I'm fasting, that's why I did this. I'm fasting, that's why I got angry. I'm fasting, that's why I got into a rage. I'm fasting, you should be mindful that I cannot do certain things. No, Ramadan's not an excuse. Your fasting is not an excuse for your bad akhlaq. Right? If anything, your akhlaq should be good in the month of Ramadan. And sadly, we see, the opposite. So, min munkaratil akhlaq. Number 2, wal a'mal. So again, this linked with the word munkar, a'mal which are reprehensible. So in other words, a'mal which are haram. For example, zina, sharab, stealing, all these a'mal which Sharia has prohibited. Prophet ﷺ said, oh Allah, I seek your refuge from going near these or doing these or falling into this. And there's a list of actions which we are not supposed to do. And we all know what haram is. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has clearly outlined what things are a no-go area. Prophet ﷺ himself said, إِنَّ الْحَلَالَ بَيِّن وَالْحَرَامَ بَيِّن. Halal is clear, haram is clear. You ask even a child of what not to do, they will tell you lying is bad. They will tell you cheating is bad. Right? All these are a'mal actions that sometimes we as human beings become susceptible to doing. And then the third thing is al-ahwa, and it's a plural of hawa. Hawa is basically your temptations and desires. So temptations which are forbidden to act upon, temptations which are evil. And we get two things from this. One is, we will be tempted in this world, and there are thoughts that provoke us, and sometimes these are thoughts, which may be intrusive. They seep into our mind, which is okay, but acting upon that ahwa is what is forbidden. A person may be tempted towards haram, a person may be tempted towards evil, but that's where they gotta curb their desires. And if they give into their desires, then they let their desires control them. They don't control their desires. And one of the purposes of fasting, which Imam Ghazali mentions in Ihya Ulumuddin, is you prevent yourself from food and drink, because that is the fuel shaitan uses to use your shahawat. Right? That is the tool shaitan uses to drive your shahawat. So once you control and overcome your shahawat, and these are the things which lead into your desires. So the word shahawat is also driven from the word hawa. And Allah said that in Quran, أَرَأَيْتَ مَنِ اتَّخَذَ إِلَهَهُ hawa. That have you not seen the person who has taken their hawa, their desires, as their ilah? Meaning, ilah is who? Allah, la ilaha illallah. But these people who act only upon their temptations and desires, meaning like, oh, I want to do this, whether it's permissible or not, they jump into it without thinking what Allah has ordained and what Allah has ordered. That's acting upon your temptations and desires. So Prophet ﷺ, is teaching us to seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from these three detrimental things. And look at how beautiful these du'as are. And they should be part of your, dua making. Sometimes we get stuck. What do I ask Allah? Like, what do I make dua about? Right? So, every single day you have been learning a new dua for the most part, right? Like, all these du'as are made by Prophet ﷺ. Think about that for a minute. And that's why, we say, no one worshipped Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala better than Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And it is so easy for us, it's a cheat code for us. You want to worship Allah, that's our purpose we've been created for. Like, adopt what Prophet ﷺ did, that's it. The du'as he made, the actions he did, that's the best formula to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So inshallah, let's try to learn this and repeat this, and hopefully you can make it throughout the day. So, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min munkaratil akhlaqi wal a'mali wal ahwa. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all the du'as from us.